Hi everybody, welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers. My name is Callista, and right next to me, giggling, as per usual,
I don't know why.
is my co-host, Gaia. It is currently Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Today we wanted to talk about fitness and how it relates to tattooing, how it relates to our personal lives, and all of that good stuff, because we just completed Team Murph.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know what Murph is, would you like to explain to them
what the workout is? It's a mile run.
Yes.
300
squats.
Air squats. Why did I forget that? 200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and another mile run. And it's done with a weight vest.
Yeah.
So 20 pounds for men, 16 pounds for women.
Yeah,
absolutely. It is in memorial of a fallen soldier, Michael J. Murphy.
There we go. See? Yeah. And so we do that every Memorial Day. Yep. I think this is like my fourth Murph.
It is.
Yeah, ever. And fun enough, my first Murph completed with the weight vest just completely on the entire time. Yeah. And it was Team Murph, so we split up the reps. But I'm still really proud. Really good mental gains were made today. I felt good about it. It was a good Murph.
Yeah, it was a really good Murph.
Yeah, you had a good time? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we worked out with friends. But I think we should start off with how we were originally introduced into fitness, our backgrounds in fitness, how you got into it, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Would you like to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I guess I can go first because I feel like I probably somewhat helped you get more into fitness.
Oh,
so it makes sense to like line up my story first.
Yes, please.
It's like my original
your Joker story.
Yeah, my Joker story. And then because I'm Joker and I came in and fucked shit up, then you became Batman.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Bam. Yeah, I guess I did karate when I was a kid, then taekwondo as like in middle school.
Wow.
I didn't do any like school sports. I was never for like balls coming up my head.
Oh yeah,
that was
hilariously. That's a hilarious sentence, by the way. Hilariously done.
just no balls flying at my head.
Dude,
please.
I just know whenever I'm just gonna interject real fast. Whenever there's any sort of basketball involved, I always get hit in the face.
Me too.
It hurts.
It's usually
so bad.
not my face. It's usually like the side of my head.
Really?
I will get hit with a ball on the side of my head.
It's my full-on face. But yeah, continue.
You do have a face that asks to be hit by a ball.
Remember when I threw that wall ball up and then it came down and it broke my glasses?
Yeah. I don't remember which. I think it was like 13.1 for CrossFit. I'll explain that in a second for people. But you do 150 wall balls as like the intro for this workout. And it was the first time I had done the RX weight, which is 14 pounds. And I gave myself a concussion because I knocked myself in the face so many times that I wasn't allowed to drive home afterwards.
Oh my God. Did they pull you aside and tell you not to drive?
Yeah, the coaches were like, hey, we need you to like sit, and like they checked me out and I just had to sit and wait.
I love that they waited. Did they wait till you were done?
They did.
That's hilarious.
I think it was like a 13-minute workout, whatever. But anywho, I completed it at 149.
Damn.
Out of and the coach was just as upset as I was, and I was more so like concussed, so I was just dazed, like what the fuck is going on? My nose was bleeding. I was a wreck.
Yeah, I love that they waited. That's hardcore. They're like, I mean, we should just let her keep going. Yeah.
That's probably not the best intro for CrossFit for people. So I did martial arts as a kid, and then I got into like conventional, just like broing out in the gym, pseudo bodybuilding, fucking around on machines. I did that. I joined like a program with the military, like they had stuff for kids when I was like 12, and then continued to do that with like, spending hours on a treadmill, and God knows how many hours of my life have been wasted on a Stairmaster. Oh, wow. Like would go to the gym after work for 2 hours a day. And then after Caboose and I got married, he had been doing CrossFit, but like OG CrossFit off their website, like not in a CrossFit gym, just like him and guys like from the ship.
Wow.
And we got married and he joined a CrossFit gym right after we got married, and then got like in shape really fast and looked super hot. And I did not want to be that fat wife that's got like a hot husband. And people are like, wait, why are they together? Like, this motherfucker's hot. Like, maybe she's like got like good in bed. Maybe she's got like something
got a great
special.
personality.
Yeah, I'm sure she's really nice. She used to be pretty. I didn't want it to be that situation.
Right, yes.
So then I started doing CrossFit with him because he's like, oh, you should just try it. There's like lots of like super in shape buff bitches. And I fucking hated it.
Love this. I love this story.
I cried so many times. I was an awful athlete. I left God knows how many times in the middle of class. I would just leave and I would go to the car and I would sob and I would ride with Caboose, so I couldn't even like drive myself home.
Yeah, you would have to wait.
He would be in there finishing the workout. I think like once or twice he came out to the car and I would just, oh my God, it was ugly. Me in my early 20s did not know how to handle my emotions at all. So there was like screaming and crying and full on temper tantrums. And then, yeah, I just kept showing up because even though I hated it, because I genuinely sucked so bad at it. And it was by far the hardest thing I'd ever done. Some part of me just kept fucking showing up.
I love that.
And the gym that he worked out at had like free passes. So like every month you'd be able to like bring a friend. So I'd just go back every single month for free and then started paying for like drop-ins.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Florida, I just went full bore CrossFit because for like, 1 hour a week, like it was just hour classes, I was getting more results than I ever got like
doing your 2 hour
doing my 2 hour Stairmaster. And I just had this like great connection with like the coaches. Like the first time I ever got a pull-up, the coach was so stoked and we had lunch together and it was like a whole thing. I had a coach that like I couldn't do rope climbs, and then for some reason it was like a lunch class and I ended up being the only person there for that class. And he just was like, nah, bitch, you're going to do rope climbs today. And I went from not being able to do rope climbs to doing like 14 of them in a workout.
Fuck yeah.
And I was so stoked and he was just so happy. And so having like somebody truly invested in me was so different than when I had like personal trainers over the years, that I was like, this is it. I'm fucking balls to the wall. I'm all in. I loved the like group setting of it.
Yes.
And then just
community.
Yeah. Fully drank the fucking Kool-Aid.
Can I ask you how long it took? How long into CrossFit did it take for you to like actually start like being like, oh shit, I enjoy it? Like this is
probably about 6 months.
Okay,
so
that's
I
fair.
Hated it for 6 months.
That's fair.
Genuinely hated it. And then I did what most CrossFitters do, where you're like, oh shit, you get to play with Olympic weightlifting. I guess I should, for anyone who doesn't know what CrossFit is, it is just interval training that has a large variety of other things.
Yes.
So like you'll see the memes about like, it's a kipping pull-up, it's not real. Well, kipping pull-ups comes from gymnastics.
Yes.
All CrossFit did was cherry pick other workouts and other effective movements. So you do push-ups, pull-ups, sled pulls, you run, you lift weights, you do Olympic weightlifting, you do all of that in one thing. And so you're able to achieve a lot in a small period of time.
It's a whole lot of skills that you get to learn in a small period of time. And I would like to just circle back to the whole kipping pull-up thing. I think the reason the meme I'm trying to say oriented from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Originated from.
Yeah.
I had a friend ask me like, oh, kipping pull-ups. Like I saw some dude do kipping pull-ups and he's in the Navy for his test. And of course he failed his test because no, they need to be strict.
Yeah.
And I had explained to him, I'm like, no, we don't, like, I hope you know that like kipping pull-ups is an option. We don't say that that's a pull-up. That's not like hard, balls to the wall, like a hard and fast rule that a kipping pull-up is a pull-up.
Difference between a kipping pull-up and a strict pull-up.
I think that's what people are confused about when it comes to CrossFit. They're assuming that like, no, those kipping pull-ups are the only pull-ups we do.
Well,
which is not true.
When you're going for speed, it's a more effective movement for speed. And I think the big misnomer there is anyone who's making fun of kipping pull-ups can't fucking do a kipping pull-up.
Have you tried? Yeah.
So they don't understand that you still have to have a base level of strength. Like you have to be able to do strict pull-ups to do kipping pull-ups. You're just using the momentum of your hips to be able to like do extra reps.
Yes.
But if you can't do a pull-up period, you can't do a fucking kipping pull-up anyway. And so it's not a concern.
What I love about kipping pull-ups is, as well as like Gaia just said, it comes from gymnastics. So there is a certain level of kinesthetic awareness that you need to be able to achieve.
Oh, absolutely.
Several reps of a kipping pull-up. It's a lot harder than you think. Like, it is actually a lot harder. And people are like, oh, your poor rotator cuff, blah, 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 blah. Again, it's from gymnastics, which is cool because, like, what other workouts do you find where, like, oh, just some random gymnastic movements that just put in toes to bar, super fun. Yeah, so I just want to interject and say that.
You're good. So then I stayed on that. Then a couple years ago, when we moved out here, I didn't want to pay for a CrossFit membership because we were still trying to sell our house in South Carolina. So I joined a gym and they offered strongman classes. And then my fucking style, ended up taking a couple of those and was like, oh shit, if you have a base level of CrossFit and Olympic weightlifting, this is really easy. And saw a market for coaching women. And so I say market, I didn't fucking get paid to do it. So then I started coaching strongman, which I still genuinely love that sport. And then discovered street parking. And I've been doing that, I think, for about 3 years now. Yeah. We did go to a CrossFit gym for a minute, but it's so much easier. And street parking is, I'm sure they won't appreciate this description. It is CrossFit without the gym prices, and it has that whole community of CrossFit that I loved without the clickiness of gyms.
Yeah, there's no clickiness, and street parking also offers, if CrossFit kind of, high interval training workouts aren't for you, they also have strength programs. Yeah. They have Olympic weightlifting programs. They've got bodybuilding if you want to do that. They've got endurance programs. They have all sorts of shit that you get to have, again, without those crazy CrossFit prices. Yep. Because the CrossFit gym we went to, I love saying this to people, was more expensive than my car payment.
Yeah. It was pricey.
And don't get me wrong, it got me fit fast, but god damn, like the clickiness was tough.
So does street parking.
I have made a lot of progress. Like people have been telling me you look jacked, and I'm like, dude, thank you. It's all from street parking.
Yeah, it's just from going to the gym and putting in the work.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's my fitness origin Joker story. What is yours? I
think I'm still not classified as still a baby in the fitness world, but it's still pretty new to me. So I have a much shorter story. I didn't play sports as a kid.
You just call me old?
No. I'm just saying that, like, I don't have as much experience as you.
Because I'm old.
Because you're old. So I didn't do any sports as a kid. I really wanted to play soccer, but it just never happened. It just wasn't a thing. It wasn't really prioritized.
You should play soccer.
I should. I think it'll be fun. I don't know. I'll think about it. Always wanted to play soccer. I played a little bit of golf in high school just because my best friend at the time was into golf. And so, I just did the best friend thing, and I was like, shit, I'll do it with you. I don't give a fuck. And then I played golf for a little bit.
Wait, I have to interject a golf story.
Yeah.
So I found out she played golf because we were watching a TV show, and this guy came on. I think it was like Titan something or other. And this guy came on and said he was a pro golfer, and it showed a clip of him swinging a golf club, and she lost her fucking mind over how terrible he was.
It was disgustingly ugly. His swing was bad. His swing was like, I didn't realize I still was like, oh my god, like I'm not like passionate about golf, but I was like, bro, that is incorrect.
Yeah. So needless to say, we have not played miniature golf because my swing is not perfect.
My short game in golf, putting, it was very bad, so don't worry about that. We'll play miniature golf. It'll be fun.
I love miniature golf.
Yeah, we still haven't played it. So we'll do that.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. You
play golf professionally?
Not professionally. I sucked at it, but it was fun. And then just, after 1 year playing golf, my junior year of high school, I stopped. And then I never got back into fitness. And then I had my apprenticeship, right? I had known that I was gaining weight, but no one was being fucking honest about it. Nobody was being honest about it.
Can I interject really fast?
Yes.
Y'all, I don't look like a good person during this story, but know that everything comes from a place of love.
Yes, everything. It changed my life. Thank you for being the one person who was honest with me. This is where I'm going with the story. I asked my mom, hey, I feel like I gained weight. No, you haven't at all. I asked my boyfriend at the time. No, you haven't at all. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers. And so I said something to Gaia, and then Gaia said, yeah, you're getting kind of fluffy. And I was like, thank you. Like, I was like, thank you so much. Because I just needed one person to validate my suspicions.
There was another person there who gave me a look. Like, I said that she was
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like the dirtiest whore you've ever met. I honestly appreciated it because I was like, motherfucker, I fucking knew it. I was so mad at my mom and my boyfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. So then I started, as you know, a young kid does, I started doing like YouTube workouts, which is really, really funny.
I love that.
Yeah. So I started doing these like 15-minute YouTube workouts with like dumbbells, and they were very light dumbbells. Like it was like I was using 10-pound dumbbells at the time.
That's
it was just
adorable.
Like, yeah, it was shoulder stuff, like, you know, and then squatting and like, you know, just really light dumbbell movements. And then Gaia had started teaching a strongman class. And I was like, hey, I don't want to step on your toes. I know that we see each other at work all the time, but like, I would love to go. I want to go to one of your classes. And that's how I got into fitness, was through strongman. And strongman was super, super fucking fun. It definitely helped with a lot of like confidence for me, because I was like, oh my God, like I have always known that I wanted to be a fit bitch. And I knew that, like, girls who lifted, like, squatted heavy and, like, all of that, girls who, like, weight lifted, I always looked at them with so much admiration, and this was my opportunity to be, like, one of those girls. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck, dude, I want to do this. And strongman was perfect because you get to do cool shit, like pull trucks and push trucks and
pick up cars.
Yeah, you get to pick up fucking cars. You get to do the Atlas stones. Yeah. Just a bunch of fun fucking movements. And we started working out. So it wasn't just like I started attending the strongman class, but then like we just all of a sudden had a gym routine, and then we started working out at the gym, and then we've been working out together ever since. And same thing. So this is where our stories collide, start being parallel. We, you know, joined a CrossFit gym, and then, you know, we just dove right back into street parking because street parking was the shit. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just got genuinely good programming. And then you took a minute off of like the daily workouts, the CrossFit style workouts, the
I did.
high intensity interval training workouts.
I did. I actually
and then got your ass kicked when you started back again.
Oh my God, I got my ass fucking whooped. So
but you did get a lot stronger doing the other stuff too.
Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about? I think a lot of it, I definitely missed out on mental gains, and like it was just those high intensity workouts, just getting used to having my heart rate get that high up for a consistent amount of time. You definitely missed it. But this last winter, I was mostly just doing street parking strength. Yeah. And I did get a lot stronger. I feel different. I feel bigger.
You are bigger.
Thank you. And that's the goal. Like, I just want to be one big old buff ass bitch. And so now we're back into the daily workouts. It's summertime. I think it's just the natural cycle of things for me. Summertime, and now I want to do all those, you know, almost CrossFit-ish workouts, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah. Okay. How does that affect your work life?
My work life.
Yeah. How does like fitness, like working out consistently, how does that help with work? As a new artist.
I think throughout my apprenticeship, it really helped. And it still helps today, but this is where it made a big difference in my apprenticeship. So back when I was apprenticing, we were at that CrossFit gym. We were listening to CrossFit podcasts, all this stuff. We were listening to Ben's podcast for a while, and a lot of the key things that I learned from his podcast, I could also apply to tattooing. So it was a stay in your lane. And one of the biggest things that I could apply with tattooing is do not worry about the score. Worry about your performance during the thing. He says it a lot more eloquently. But basically, don't worry about the end product. Worry about your performance in the now. And that helped with my apprenticeship so fucking much. So when it came to tattooing, I knew when you're first starting to tattoo, there's so many anxious thoughts going in your brain of like, what if I fuck this up? You know, what if this person isn't happy? You're tagging on to all the little micro expressions that your client is giving you because, you know, you're scared. You're a new artist. And so that really helped out with that. Just knowing that like, I'm just going to worry about how this is going right now. How is this line looking? How can I make it better? Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden my tattoos were like solid, you know, for an apprentice. And then also strength-wise, like physically, my body is definitely happier when we do maintenance. We also do raw mod.
Which is like a online yoga.
Yeah. For athletes.
Yeah, for athletes. So it doesn't have like the woo-woo-y, like, align your chakras, sun salutations, which if you're into that, fuck yes, that's awesome. I did yoga for a long time.
Yeah.
I had a yoga studio in South Carolina that I absolutely adored. But then after leaving there, I never was able to find another yoga studio that like I connected with.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do the online yoga like woo-woo-y stuff.
It's different.
Ramwad is nice because we can yell at the TV when he says something we don't like. And it's also technically yin yoga. So you go in a pose and you hold it for 5 to 10 minutes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's what yin yoga is like. You sit there and you're in it for a long time. And as an athlete, you get... I don't know. I think you just get a different thing from it because I don't need yoga to be something that elevates my heart rate. I need it to be something that like elongates my muscles from the shortening of muscles while you're working out.
Yes, and it definitely, for me too, it gave me a lot more kinesthetic awareness, like even more so because I say it's a double-edged sword, but it's actually really good because now I'm so hyper aware of how tense I am or like what's tight. Like, for example, this morning my hips were incredibly bound up just from the way I slept. Yeah. And it's like that with tattooing because we're in weird positions for such a long amount of times that sometimes I'll come home from a day of tattooing. I'm like, hey, do you want to do maintenance real fast? Because my body will be fucked, so beat. And that's a huge thing. Mentally in tattooing definitely has helped me because a lot of the hard shit that I've already done in a workout, I'm like, these tattoos are not going to make me do 50 thrusters in one go. I'm going to be fine. You know what I mean? And then on the other hand, just getting that kinesthetic awareness of like, oh, my shoulders are tight from the way I was stretching this person out for so long. That sounds so weird. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about you? How has it made a difference in your professional life?
I definitely got into like what I like to think of as effective fitness, which is what CrossFit was for me and street parking is now. Because when I was going before and doing the like, I don't know, the stereotypical, like you just go and work on machines and shit like that. Yeah. I didn't actually, like my body was still fucked. I have, as you know, I have a hip impingement, so I get a lot of pain in my hip. And there were times in my career where I had to take time off of work because it was so painful and I was going to physical therapy, which never did a damn thing for me. And then I ended up seeing a sports therapist who was able to help me like stretch in correct ways and then build up muscle that has allowed my hips to not be so painful. Right. But by staying in like constantly doing maintenance and then working out, it allows me to work without pain because there were several points throughout my career where I had to take time off of work because my back was fucked. My sciatica was fucked where my leg was going
That's a huge
numb.
one. That's a huge one in tattooing, the sciatica.
Yeah, it's just the way that we sit, the way that we have to sit and lean forward. It pinches that nerve. And then also you have these collapsed shoulders going forward because we all sit trying to stretch the skin. So you're focused on this, like you're hunched over all day and you don't have an option to like sit up perfectly straight because we end up working at really weird angles. So your option is you either, at this point, now I just put clients in uncomfortable positions. I'm like, fuck y'all. You got to sit here for 4 hours.
But this is
my whole life. But like building strength in my back has meant that I don't have pain in between my shoulder blades, which I spent like the first 5 years of my career with immense pain to the point where like I was taking like pain pills daily because my back was so fucked.
Absolutely.
And then by building up that strength, now it's like meh. And like you said, that kinesthetic awareness.
Yes.
So you're able to then be like, ooh, let me adjust and like fix this. And then at home at night, you can be like, hey, I need to do some stretches. Let's throw on some Ramwad and work out, like either working out to like get any bound up muscles and then also combining that with like stretching allows me to like my body to feel good. So I know that I have longevity in tattooing.
Yeah. Not only is it good for our bodies, like our longevity and performance in like, being an athlete and, Olympic weightlifting and doing CrossFit things. It also, like you said, helps with our longevity and performance in tattooing. I think it helps with my performance.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. Because my thing is, like, working out in the way in which we do and focusing on each rep being the best you can possibly be
Yes.
transfers into that, where it's like, okay, so when I have a really intricate design or something that's like borderline overwhelming, because I don't give a fuck who you are, when you look at a whole sleeve and you're like, okay, we're going to do a whole sleeve, it is a borderline overwhelming thing. So then you get to be like, you know what? It's not as hard as Murph. It's not as hard as Filthy 50. It's not as hard as so many other workouts that we've done and then frequently do. So even like with street parking, how they do vault workouts, workouts are harder.
Bro.
So you're like, well, you know what? This workout can't be that hard.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's also a reward. So it's not just like, okay, well, this one was hard, but it's like, hey, I'm going to get through the day and then I get to go home and do what I enjoy doing. Because over time, I went from going like, okay, I was definitely one of those people that started out fitness as a means of controlling my weight and punishing myself for what I was eating.
Oh my gosh.
And
do tell.
And I think a lot of people are there. I think that's why a lot of people, you know, why the fuck else would you spend an hour on a fucking Stairmaster on a treadmill?
Can I ask you, does a Stairmaster actually do anything?
You burn calories.
But that's about it? Does it help with strength at all? Like, does it, like, help with any sort of muscle building?
I wouldn't say that it is a functional movement unless you just really want to climb stairs.
Dude, I did Stairmaster a couple weeks ago when I was out in DC, and the only thing that happened was my knees were fucked the next day.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. It doesn't... It's not the most effective. You would be better off doing body weight squats or lunges.
Okay, good to know.
For a full range of motion of those joints.
Yes.
Rather than just standing on a machine and just plodding along.
Right. Okay, so let's go back, because I do want to talk about the negative side of fitness, the fitness industry, which is like the setup of like, oh, a lot of people start out fitness with the, you know, with this hatred of their body and controlling weight and numbers. And instead of, I don't know if it's gotten better in the industry to tell people like, no, you do fitness to make you happy, to, you know, create
that might
balance.
be the echo chamber that we're in, because within the street parking and CrossFit community, it's very much based off of building your body. So we go very much against the you need to be skinny because I need you as a woman or someone who looks like a woman. I need you to be small.
Yeah.
So street parking and CrossFit in particular, like those two are very, and even strongman is very much based off of like, no, I need you to be strong, which means you're going to have more muscles. And then we're surrounded by women that have a lot of muscle and a lot of like size to them. Yeah. So like, I mean, I told you this when you first started working out, was that like, I was like, hey, just so you know, right now, because when you started, you were like, okay, I need to lose weight.
Yeah.
And you started with that same mentality. You didn't have the hatred of your body. You somehow magically skipped that, which I would love to spend a whole episode talking about how you magically skipped hating yourself.
Yeah.
Right? But I was like, yo, just so you know, you will want to get big. Because like one of the things I always hear, and you hear it now too, is like, well, I don't want to get too bulky. Which is, oh my God, for any one of us that works out, you are like fucking nodding your head along right now how offensive that shit is.
Yes.
Because I have been consistently doing CrossFit. I think this year is 10 years, actually.
Nice.
And I am nowhere near as big as I would like to be. Now, that being said, I won't do drugs to get bigger. Yeah. Just because for me personally, I want to see where I can push my body, like, just by itself.
Natural.
But that's not to say in the future, if I'm like, I'm not getting gains, I wouldn't do it. I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as you understand the risks.
And the science behind it. Yeah. Like, so long as you are making the actual educated decision to do it. Because a lot of people also fall down that rabbit hole of, like, I'm just going to do it to get big without even realizing, like, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing to your body? Or making at-home steroids?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Do not do that.
Yeah, please do not do that. But I think that's it, is that we are in a privileged position to have found a community that celebrates getting bigger and bulkier and like gaining muscle. And that, like, for me, the physical side is this like amazing side effect, but it's the watching to be like, hey, okay, so I started out with 10-pound dumbbells, and then I went to 15 and 20, and now I can do most workouts with 30-pound dumbbells. And so to be able to go up in weight there and then see those numbers, it makes me care a lot less about the number on the scale to be like, okay, well, I'm never going to weigh $120. Like, that's not... No. And I wouldn't want to, because then I'm like, you're telling me to have to
How much muscle are you losing?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, absolutely. I tell my friends all the time, like, I don't want you to focus on the number that's on the scale. I need you to start focusing on how you feel.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel after this workout. What's going on in your brain and in your body? Like, tell me how you feel after you eat this meal. I don't care about, like, numbers.
Yeah.
I just need to know how you're feeling. Because a lot of that, if you listen to your body will tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, good echo chamber. I'm happy that we're in the echo chamber, which is the women, like, we are buff bitches.
Yeah. Speaking of our echo chamber, what is your view on fitness and friendships? Because, like, our relationship was built not just by the time that we worked together, but by all the time that, like, I was coaching you, and then you went from, hey, I'm coaching you, to just being my workout partner.
Oh my gosh. I think fitness is okay, first of all, it can either make or break a friendship.
Oh, that's true.
It is
or a relationship.
Or a relationship. So do I have a story for you guys? I think
it's a really good one.
So back when, you know, I started getting more consistent in the gym, whatever, I had been dating this guy, and, you know, he, to be nice, wasn't working out as much or as hard as I was. So I invited him over for our first ever, like, partner workout for CrossFit, you know. This wasn't at the CrossFit gym, but we were all just a group of people, and we did this, you know, a lot. Sundays were our days where it would just be a group of people, and you would pair up and you would do a workout together. This specific workout, given it wasn't the best workout to start him off with, but beggars can't be choosers. It was burpees, and I fucking love burpees, right? Love burpees, any kind of burpees. And there's a bunch of burpee variations. Basically, partner workout, it was like 200 and something burpees, right?
Yeah.
Split between two partners, and there was burpee deadlifts, burpee box jumps, and then I think the end was just regular burpees.
Just regular burpees. So that way it makes the burpees feel easier at the end. That's why they do that.
Yeah. So basically, it was designed as a 1 minute on, 1 minute off partner workout. So while your partner's working, you're resting, and then vice versa.
So you get ample rest.
Ample, right? I was averaging around 8 burpees per minute on each movement. Solid. And then towards the end, he was averaging maybe a half a burpee. I was begging him for just one. I just needed one burpee for his minute. And he was struggling. And it was hard. It was hard for our relationship, because I do feel for him how emasculating that may be to watch your girlfriend bust out 8 and then you can't even do one. Very hard. Tough truth. That's why it's important to be the same level as fit as your partner.
Or just better, and then you push them. Because you and I, like, you're better at certain movements, and I'm chasing your happy ass. And then I'm better at other movements, and then I'm like,
chasing you. Like, oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you have to, like, I guess be around the same, and then also be willing to chase them.
Celebrate those strengths.
Yeah, when Caboose and I first started working out together, it wasn't fun. Because he was so much better.
He's so good at all the things he does.
Yeah. And now we're having the opposite, where he hasn't done this style of working out for a long time. So he's having to deal with the, like, oh, fuck, she's in, like, way better shape than I am.
And that's kind of fun. Again, that, like, give and take of, like, okay, the ebb and flow of, like, the people in your life should inspire you to be better in all aspects, but fitness is especially very important. And so I think as far as friendships, for relationships, man, that was hard. That was rough. That put a big chip in our relationship.
But that being said, had obviously your relationship continued, and had he continued to go to the gym, I think that, like, my relationship with Caboose is so much stronger for us working out.
Yes.
Because even when he was way better than me, it was, I don't know, it's just so bonding. Like, there is a bond that happens when you are in discomfort. And even now, like, when we're working out together and we make that, like, eye contact, and especially, like, partner workouts for me is one of those beautiful things. That's why I personally feel super privileged, because I get to work out with you sometimes and I get to work out with him sometimes. And so when you're, like, pushing extra hard for that person, then it's just, like, so much more rewarding.
Yes.
And then you get to see them, I feel like, in that moment for who they truly are.
Yes. I think there's something very animalistic in it.
Yeah.
It is, and it sounds weird, but like, please, I invite everyone to try a workout with their partner or with their friends, because there is something so like deeply, I don't know, like, I don't want to say enchanting, but something natural. There's something so deeply natural about being, I don't know, suffering at the same level.
Yeah.
At the same time that happens between humans, where it's just like that deep connection of like, oh my God, we're in this together. Like actually, truly in this together. And I think it's great for friendships. Like even today we were talking, every time we do a group workout with a bunch of people, everyone's always comparing notes afterwards. And that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
It's like people being like, I love this movement, but this movement was surprisingly spicy. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. That was really shitty. Or the vice versa. Like, no, I thought that those were fine. Or, I thought push-ups were fine. It was the pull-ups that killed me, something like that.
One of the few times when you genuinely ask somebody like, hey, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
How was that? How are you doing? That you get a real answer, as opposed to when I ask, somebody just, hey, how's your day going? They're like, oh, it's great. And you have this generic answer.
Yep.
Whereas I'm like, hey, how was that workout? And you're like, dude, let me lay it out for you. And you explain like how you were feeling. And it's one of the few times that we're able to kind of like take off the armor,
unabashedly,
put down the shields, and just tell each other like, this is how I genuinely feel. And there's like no shame in it. There's nothing, because we've created a safe environment of being like, dude, I thought I was going to crush that, and that was hot garbage.
Right. And one of my favorite sayings is Coach Callie was not in the bus.
Yeah.
She was not driving. She was so far. I don't know where that bitch was, but she was not there, because there are workouts like that where it's just like, I tanked that. I don't know what happened.
But I think it also goes the opposite way, where it's one of the few times that like you're allowed to admit that something didn't work or it was terrible. And you're also allowed to be like, dude, I fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people a lot of people don't celebrate their successes. And especially with friends, because you're like, oh, I don't want to sound like a fucking like big-headed person to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so right.
Yeah.
But you get to be like, dude, I can't believe I did that shit with a 30-pound dumbbell. Look at me go. I'm a bomb ass bitch.
Straight up.
And then your friends or your partner are like, fuck yes, you are. That's
hyping
awesome.
You up.
So you get this like kind of therapist and cheerleader all in one in those situations.
Yeah. I think it's great for friendships and relationships. Yeah. Just know, warning, it could break people up. If it does, it's for the right reasons. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because fitness has become such an important part of my life that I wouldn't have traded that for anything. Plus, it's a hilarious story. Poor thing. Yeah. I love burpees.
You fucking psycho.
What's next on our list?
That being said, what's your favorite movement?
Are we talking just in general?
Just in general.
I love burpees. I love squat cleans. And, anything to do with, like, lunges or step-ups or box jumps. Those are my favorite.
So gross.
How about you?
I hate lunges. They're my least favorite thing ever.
I love lunges.
They suck every time. It's like, somehow magically I've never gotten better. I love thrusters, mostly because everyone hates thrusters.
Yeah.
And that's where you can win workouts.
You fuck me up so bad with thrusters. I'm like, oh my God.
Because people will break on a thruster.
1,000%.
Thrusters are never heavy enough.
Yeah.
In like a long workout that you're like, all right, fuck, I need to break. I also, purely for ego reasons, absolutely love a dumbbell. A dumbbell snatch. There you go. I forgot. Because fun fact, work out in the mirror. So I get to see, because it helps the connection that I have with my body, and it's helping heal the wounds that I have with my body, not being the body that I feel like completely correct in.
Yes.
So like as I put on more muscle and spend more time in the mirror, it's super healing for me to work out and be like, okay, here you go. And my arm overhead looks huge with my big ass lat. So I get really excited.
They do look great.
On snatches.
They do look amazing.
But dumbbell snatches, because I super suck at barbell snatches.
Barbell snatches are fucking hard.
They're by far the hardest movement ever.
What the fuck? Yeah, they're so difficult. Yep. Love learning them.
Okay, you had something you wanted to bring up during this workout episode about how you keep track of your rounds.
Okay, so this is going to sound weird. I might be the only person who does this.
I don't think you're the only one.
I hope not. Please let us know. Okay, so for any kind of workout that has rounds, do you guys, I mark it down with chalk or like marker or whatever. So with chalk, I mark down my rounds before I complete them because mentally it forces me to commit to finishing the round, and I've noticed a huge change in my performance. So my question is, do you mark your rounds before you complete the round? Sorry, there's someone riding their motorcycle outside of the house. Do you complete your rounds before you before you finish them or after you finish them? What do you do?
I mark after.
A lot of people.
The only time I will mark during
Yeah.
is say it's multiple movements. I mean, most rounds are multiple movements.
Right. But like you're close
then,
to
yeah, you're close to the ground. So if it, like one of the movements is like push-ups and then the next movement you're going to be standing, then I'll mark it at that push-up part just so that way I don't stand back up, do that work, and then mark. But even sometimes I'll just mark, but I always mark after.
That is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I just tried it out one day and it made a huge difference in my performance. I for some reason it's that commitment. Like I've already marked it, so I have to finish this round.
So that being said, we would love to hear from you guys on try that. I'll try it in my next workout and post a story and let you know. The other thing as we're wrapping up is this is a very, very important question. We do need videos of this.
Yes.
How do you skip? As in, how do you frolic? If you were to skip and frolic in a field, or in our case, down a street. We recorded the intro. We're redoing our intro for these episodes, so we're more YouTube friendly and we're just, I don't know, more entertaining.
We're also just having fun.
Yeah, we're just having fun learning new skill sets. We were skipping and Callista kicks her feet back. Which I've never seen before, and I raise my knees forward, which is what I've seen done in movies.
Right.
She says she's never seen the way I skip before. I've never seen the way she skips before. So please let us know. Do videos so we can see them, analyze us, tag us. Yes. We are tattoo_homewreckers on Instagram. What is our TikTok?
Our TikTok is also tattoo_homewreckers. So please tag us. We just want videos of you guys skipping. Yeah. You don't post on your story.
Don't think about it. Just skip.
Just skip and let us know, because I did not realize that my skipping was incorrect.
It's not incorrect. It's just
now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, backwards. Why do I do that?
I don't know. You laugh backwards too. You inhale laugh.
Hey, that's a normal thing. People do that.
One comedian does that.
One comedian.
Otherwise, yes, please try out marking your rounds before you start.
Yeah.
Weird. And tag us in videos of you skipping. Thank you so much. Our little wrecking balls. We will see you in a couple days. We are putting out another bonus episode this week. And it is called Good American, because we realized that we are not very good Americans and don't know much. Oops. So out on Thursday will be an episode where Caboose, Mr. B, as you know him.
The caboose who produces.
Yes, producer Caboose, will indeed be quizzing us on our American facts. History. And we have not done any studying.
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.